Well, just wanted to say thank you guys for coming out. We're going to have a little conversation today. We'll give you guys an update on the advances in AIDS research and medicine and what's happening now. So give yourself a round of applause. Thank you very much. And without further ado, shall we begin? Okay. On November 7th, 1991, Irvin Magic Johnson revealed to the world that he had contracted HIV and would no longer play professional basketball. That sent shockwaves throughout the world of sports and entertainment. Because during that time period, anyone who contracted HIV was considered to have received a death sentence. According to www.aids.gov, since its inception in 1981, over 25 million people have succumbed to HIV/AIDS. Flash forward to today with the advances of AIDS research and medicine and the introduction of the highly active antiretroviral therapy regimen, or the HAART regimen, that's no longer the case. According to a CNN article titled HIV No Longer a Death Sentence, many people living with HIV nowadays is like living with a chronic disease like diabetes or heart disease. Nucleoside reverse transcriptase, or NUCs for short, probably a medicine you're not too familiar with. But for those living with HIV participating in the HAART regimen, this is a very important medicine. This medicine attacks a protein in HIV called reverse transcriptase and stops it from spreading throughout the body. And this is just one of 5 classes of medicines in the HAART regimen we'll discuss today. The HAART regimen and the medicines it consists of, which you can find listed at www.aidsmap.com or www.webmd.com, help many of those living with HIV live longer, healthier lives. And let's take a look at the second class of medicine in the HAART regimen called protease inhibitors, or PIs for short. Protease inhibitors block an enzyme in HIV called protease and stops it from creating new cells. When taken in combination with another PI called Norvir, this boosts the effect of the medicine tremendously. A third medicine we'll talk about in the HAART regimen is called fusion inhibitors. Fusion inhibitors blocks HIV from entering healthy cells. Fusion is the only med of this type that is approved by the FDA at this time. A fourth medicine we'll discuss in the HAART regimen is called entry inhibitors. Like fusion inhibitors, this medicine blocks HIV from entering healthy cells. Cells entry is the only medicine of this type that is approved by the FDA. The fifth and final medicine we'll discuss in the HAART regimen is called integrase inhibitors. Integrase inhibitors blocks viral DNA from entering healthy DNA. Tivicay and Incentrus are the only meds of this type that are approved by the FDA at this time. To sum it all up, there is light at the end of the tunnel. HIV is no longer a death sentence, especially for many of those participating in the HAART regimen. According to an article in the Daily Mail, HIV patients in their 20s can expect to live well into their 70s when participating in the HAART regimen. That being said, there is no cure for AIDS. And participants in the HAART regimen can still spread the disease through unprotected sex or the sharing of dirty needles. Hopefully one day there will be a cure, but until that day comes, be smart, be safe, and protect yourself. Thank you. Is there any questions? Anybody have questions?
I have a question, Greg. What is the cost to the patient for these medications?
Well, the cost is, the HAART regimen is very cost effective, right? You would assume that it'd be expensive, but it really isn't. It averages between $10,000 to $12,000 a year. Now, it all depends on how sick you are. If you're not following the regimen as prescribed by a doctor and you get sick, of course, things can be more expensive. So it's all based on how you're following the regimen. But average cost is about $10,000 to $12,000 a year. So, any other questions?
Yeah, how about side effects?
Side effects. There's a few side effects actually, just like with any other medicine. Let's see, respiratory depression, anemia, risk of poor liver function, abdominal obesity, and there's a few other side effects out there. But at the end of the day, you know, it's better than the alternative, right? You don't get on the regimen, you probably get full-blown AIDS and die. So, you know, like I said, I think doing research on the subject helped me tremendously in learning where we are in the fight against AIDS. And, you know, we've still got a ways to go, but hopefully one day there'll be a cure and, you know, we'll see what happens. Any other questions?
Is it covered under Obamacare?
Yes, it is covered under Obamacare. It is. Yes, it is. Anybody else? All right. Thank you. Give it to the